My next patron question is from Lance, who wants to know what happened to Illumination's Can the Hat movie. So shortly after Illumination released their film based on Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, it was revealed they were planning a bunch of films based on his books. Chris Meledandri had gotten the rights, and the success of that movie showed there remained an audience appetite for adaptations of his work. In addition to a new animated film based on How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Illumination was also planning a Dr. Seuss biopic with Johnny Depp and a new animated Can the Hat film. The latter is not particularly surprising, seeing as Audrey Geisel was less than pleased with how the live-action Can the Hat turned out, so it's understandable why she would want to see Seuss's most iconic creation get the proper big-screen treatment. Rob Lieber, who appears to be one of Hollywood's go-to people for adapting children's books, as he would also work on the scripts for Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, Peter Rabbit, and Goosebumps 2, was given the responsibility of writing the screenplay. Years passed without any updates, and it would take 6 years for Illumination's next Seuss adaptation, The Grinch, to open in theaters. Before The Grinch was even released, it was announced that Warner Brothers acquired the film rights to the Seuss books. What happened? It's possible that the film never got to a place that satisfied Meledandri enough to greenlight it. When you boil it down, the Can the Hat has a rather simple and short story. Children are bored, cat shows up, causes a ruckus, cleans it up, and then leaves. That's the basic plot of the book. The live-action film expanded this premise by occasionally taking them outside, turning the Can the Hat into a camera-mugging annoyance, filling it with dirty jokes, and adding a villainous character who wants to send the boy in the story to military school. Lieber and the folks at Illumination probably want to avoid several of the mistakes made by that movie. I always thought the best way to expand it to feature length while keeping the storyline intact was to have the first half of the movie show what the cat did before turning up at the house, including having him walk through other Seuss stories, and then the second half of the movie could present a faithful adaptation of the book. Of course, I have no idea what Lieber's treatment looked like. That's just how I would do it. Another reason Illumination's The Can the Hat never happened might have to do with Meledandri's producing style. Other animation studios like Pixar, DreamWorks, and Sony will often spend years in development on a project before giving it the official green light for production. Illumination is different. It's decided very early on during the development period whether to move forward on a movie or not. So it's possible Meledandri looked at Can the Hat and was not confident enough to officially put it into production. It would not be the first time, as he'd considered producing movies based on Woody Woodpecker, Clifford the Big Red Dog, and the Ugly Dolls, and chose not to pursue them in the end. I actually think it's a good thing he has the self-discipline to not turn every intellectual property he encounters into a movie. In the end, like I mentioned earlier, Warner Brothers wound up acquiring the rights and immediately announced plans to produce an animated Can the Hat movie of their own, which was last revealed to be coming out in 2024. Erica Revenoja, who has served as a writer on South Park, Clone High, The Last Man on Earth, and the second Borat movie, is directing alongside Art Hernandez, a former Disney story artist and animator. Warner is also said to be working on a Thing 1 and Thing 2 spin-off movie and an adaptation of Oh, the Places You Will Go. That one is being directed by John M. Chu and produced by J.J. Abrams. Meanwhile, Warner was responsible for the animated Green Eggs and Ham show on Netflix. I thought that was an excellent series that did manage to adapt the book with the simple premise of a man trying to convince another to eat his favorite dish and expand it into several episodes. It was highly creative, cleverly using the aspects of Green Eggs and Ham anyone who's read the book is familiar with. The second season then incorporated the Butter Battle book, and that was wonderfully done too. If the Can the Hat and Oh, the Places You'll Go can live up to those high standards, then we're in for something special, and hopefully they and other Dr. Seuss projects have survived the Warner Brothers Discovery merger and recent regime changes at Warner Animation Group. As someone who really enjoys Illumination's adaptation of The Grinch, I would have been curious to see what themes their filmmakers would have tackled with Can the Hat. In the meantime, I'm interested in seeing what the folks at Warner Animation Group have come up with. Thank you for your question, Lance.